Welcome, dear viewers, to a mind-bending journey that might just shake the foundations of your political convictions. As we approach the 2024 election, with Trump supporters and those of his opponents, each convinced their candidate holds the key to America's future, let's explore a cognitive quirk so powerful, it could sway elections and topple governments. Picture this, it's 1998, and you're ushered into a sterile room, heart pounding. A small white object sits before you, innocuous yet terrifying. Place it in your mouth. If it turns green, you're safe. If it stays white, well, let's just say pancreatic cancer might be the least of your worries. As the camera rolls, capturing every nervous twitch, a strange pattern emerges. Those blessed with the verdant hue of health? They're out the door faster than a politician dodging tough questions. But the unlucky souls whose objects remain stubbornly white, they're not ready to accept their fate. Once, twice, 3 times they repeat the test. Some go as far as 10 attempts, desperately hoping for a different outcome. But here's the twist that would make M. Night Shyamalan jealous: the test was a complete fabrication. A ruse designed to reveal a dangerous quirk of the human mind so powerful it could make your favorite campaign strategist's head spin. Welcome to the world of confirmation bias, where your brain is your own worst enemy. Confirmation bias is the mind's tendency to seek out information that supports what we already believe while ignoring or discrediting contradictory evidence. It's like having a yes man in your head, constantly affirming your choices and beliefs. Sounds comforting, right? Well, so does quicksand until you're in too deep to escape. Now, let's journey to pre-revolutionary France. The masses are starving, and a rumor spreads like wildfire. When told of the bread shortage, Marie Antoinette callously quipped, "Let them eat cake." It's the perfect encapsulation of royal indifference and completely fabricated. Yet it persisted, gaining traction with each retelling. Why? Because it confirmed what people already believed about the out-of-touch monarchy. Remember, confirmation bias is the mind's tendency to seek out information that supports what we already believe while ignoring or discrediting contradictory evidence. In 2004, the year that would expose the neural underpinnings of political conviction, scientists gathered die-hard supporters of John Kerry and George W. Bush, their beliefs as unshakable as a candidate's campaign promises. They divided these zealots into groups and presented them with their beloved candidates uttering statements so weak they'd make a wet noodle look like a steel beam. Imagine a Bush supporter hearing their swaggering Texan hero mumbling about kinda wanting to maybe lower taxes, if that's okay with everyone. Or a Kerry devotee watching their stalwart champion meekly suggesting, "We might consider thinking about possibly looking into healthcare someday." As these supporters squirmed, functional MRI machines captured every neural flicker. The results? When confronted with these weak arguments, the logical parts of supporters' brains didn't engage. Instead, emotional centers lit up like a Christmas tree on steroids. It wasn't rational analysis, it was an emotional meltdown at the cellular level. And in our age of information, we're getting better at sifting fact from fiction, right? Think again. Social media algorithms have become expert enablers of our confirmation bias, creating echo chambers so isolated they make actual chambers look like Grand Central Station at rush hour. Remember those Galapagos finches Darwin was so fond of? We humans are pulling a similar trick, but with ideologies instead of beaks. We're isolating ourselves in our own little ideological islands, slowly evolving into separate species of thought. The danger? We might lose our ability to communicate with those who think differently. This ideological speciation is like a biological experiment gone wrong. Imagine a group of organisms living together, marrying each other, playing together, eating together, doing everything together, remaining united despite their differences. But when separated and exposed to different environments, they start to diverge. Instead of one species, we end up with 2 different species, unable to interbreed or even understand each other. That's what's happening to us, dear viewers. We're becoming different species, ideologically speaking. We're losing the ability to deal with different opinions. We've separated ourselves and our like-minded society from the rest of humanity. we're struggling to discuss or appreciate the problems of the same type of humans we once were. So, as you gear up for the 2024 electoral showdown, remember, your brain is playing tricks on you. That unwavering certainty? It might just be confirmation bias whispering sweet nothings in your ear. The echo chambers of social media are ideological islands where opposing views are as welcome as a skunk at a garden party. Now, picture yourself standing at the edge of a vast, uncharted wilderness. This is the true landscape of political reality, complex, nuanced, and often contradictory. But instead of exploring this rich terrain, most of us are content to stay in our comfortable camps, shouting slogans across the divide. Confirmation bias is the cozy campfire that keeps us warm, but it also blinds us to the wider world beyond its glow. It's the siren song that lulls us into a false sense of certainty in an uncertain world. As you prepare to cast your vote, ask yourself, are you choosing based on a clear-eyed assessment of policies and character? Or are you simply confirming what you've always believed? Remember, the greatest patriots in history weren't those who blindly followed. They were the ones who dared to question, to challenge, to seek truth even when it was uncomfortable. So, I challenge you, supporters of Trump and his opponents alike, step out of your cognitive comfort zone. Seek out views that make you uncomfortable. Engage with those you disagree with, not to convert them, but to understand them. All holding that little white object from our opening story. The question is, do you have the courage to see it change color, even if it challenges everything you think you know? In summary, we tend to prove our words. We prove what we want. People, evidence, and society look at us and tell us we're right. Everything we thought was right. Everything we felt was right. Our opinions are right. Our actions are right. Our beliefs are right. We see this reflected in everything, from justifying the importance of broken roads in our streets because we agree with our political system, to finding meaning in the shape of a cross on tomatoes. All this talk may have somewhat lessened on the internet, but it hasn't been erased. We can still isolate ourselves with people who support our opinions. We keep isolating until we become other species living in an artificial universe designed to agree with us. Anyone can fall into this mistake. Anyone. Even I. As we wrap up this mind-bending journey through the treacherous waters of confirmation bias, remember, if you did not find yourself agreeing with everything I've said in this episode, you might want to check your own confirmation bias. After all, even a broken clock is right twice a day unless it's a digital clock, in which case it's just, well, broken. So, my dear viewers, if you've enjoyed this roller coaster ride through the quirks of your own brain, why not hit that subscribe button? It's like confirmation bias, but for good content. And don't forget to check out our sources in the description below. Who knows? You might find some information that challenges your preconceptions, and isn't that the whole point? Thank you, and until next time. This is SuperNerd, signing off with a reminder, think twice, question thrice, and stay science nice.